welcome back to FanPark Live. I'm joined by Have Hope, and I'm joined by Pippa here. Arsenal fan, kind of a Chelsea fan. We'll talk about that a little bit later if you don't know. We're, of course, powered by the One Football app. We'll be using that a little bit later on in the show to review the game, look at who's been voted for as man of the match. I believe Mkhitaryan is currently winning the vote, which is crazy because Mkhitaryan had maybe the worst game I've ever seen him have for an English club. He was woeful tonight. But we're going to go through the One Football app. Make sure you've got that downloaded. It's free of charge and it's in the description below. We, of course, want your phone calls as well on 0203 606 0315. We want to hear from Gooners, neutrals alike. Any Oestersunds fans out there that want to speak, you can give us a call as well. But you got the victory tonight. You may have gone out of the competition, but you were the better team at the Emirates. You were founded in 1996. 1996. And you came to the Emirates. You outplayed them. You beat them on the night. And you gave them an absolute scare. So I think from my point of view as a football fan, tremendous effort from yourselves out there. But I'll go to Pippa straight away. As a Gooner, you're through. Yeah. So that's happy, but are you disappointed with how your team performed and played tonight?
Of course I'm disappointed. I mean, obviously we probably came into this thinking comfortable, it's going to be a walk in the park. Even though we put out a strong team, it's a fairly strong team, like Ozil and stuff are missing, but you go in it thinking, yeah, it's only Oestersunds, we're going to win. Even if it's a 2-0, I was expecting a clean sheet at least, but it's terrible.
The defending for those 2 goals, conceded in 69 seconds, were you starting to fear the worst, that, oh my God, this could end up being the worst result in Wenger's history?
Because they came in such quick succession, I was thinking, right, it's only the first half. They might come back in the second half and bury it. I really thought we could have been out of the competition.
Yeah, we did. We were sitting in here. First time we've actually met. I had to laugh. I was getting called a troll the whole time, but it was funny. But you could see that in this room of Arsenal fans. You could hear it in the stadium, on social media. There was this, oh my God, the worst possible outcome could happen. Yeah. I believe we've got an Arsenal fan coming through on the phones now as well. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name, mate? Hello? Oh, they've gone again. Whoever they were, they've gone. We'll take your calls in a minute. From your point of view, as a neutral looking at this, rather than this being negative about Arsenal, we will touch on Arsenal. How good were that Swedish outfit tonight?
No, they were the better team. Like, when you look over 90 minutes and how they played, they were the better team, and really, they made Arsenal look very inferior.
Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Ryan.
Hello, Ryan. Who do you support, mate?
Arsenal.
Okay, Arsenal fan. How are you feeling right now?
It's a bit difficult, isn't it, really, after, like, you know, the signings which have been made of Aubameyang and everything, like, throughout the season, and then seeing them, you know, come into a tie which should be, like, so easy. You win 3-0 away, then come home and you think, oh, yeah, okay, happy days, this is going to be a walkover. Now it doesn't matter whether they rest this person, rest that person, or the other person. And then you see that,
Interestingly, do you feel there was an air of unprofessional behaviour tonight from these Arsenal players? Did they come into this game just expecting it to be a walk in the park, and actually they became massively unstuck?
Well, it depends on, like, which way you look at it, doesn't it? It's like being an Arsenal fan really at the moment. You tend to see that like throughout anyway. Like pretty much they would go in out to Sunday and, you know, potentially beat Man City. It wouldn't be beyond the realms of possibility if they went in and won the League Cup on Sunday.
Yeah, Pippa, would you say that's a very Wenger thing to go and do now?
Yeah.
To go and win the League Cup, secure himself another 5-year contract?
Oh, 5 years, come on.
Absolutely. And then everything would be forgotten. But really, like, what Arsenal fans are really, are like, it's not about, it is about winning things, totally it is about winning things, and winning, like, 2 FA Cups, you know, like, but it's not really about that, is it? It's about, like, the season through and through.
I mean, but can I actually just ask, just as an Arsenal fan, even for both of you, are you Wengering or Wenger? Because the thing that annoys me is that You can't be Wenger out there when you're Wenger. So you have to decide: are you Wenger out or Wenger in?
I'm never on the fence.
I'm like,
everyone knows
I'm like neither or. I'm like really stuck in like the middle of it. It's like.
But you've got to choose one. You have to choose one, in or out.
No,
Like,
no,
are you for him or against him?
No. But it's like the way I see it. It's like, okay, if we say Wenger out, who are we going to get in, right? Like one name who I've seen like mentioned like pretty much through is Carlo Ancelotti, right? Right. So if it's going to be Carlo Ancelotti, personally myself, I'd rather stick with Wenger than go with Carlo Ancelotti because I see that as a sideway move.
What about Simeone? Like, what about like a tactician like Spalletti, Di Francesco?
If that was literally, seriously, if it was going to be one person who I would say, it would be Simeone. But I don't think the hierarchy above it all would like to see Simeone in there because he's not a yes man.
Yeah.
No, totally understand that, mate. Really appreciate your call.
Yeah, cool.
Lovely,
cool.
Thank you. We'll speak to you again soon, mate. Take care.
No worries at all. Take care.
Cheers. Interesting points there, and that's something we spoke about.
So it's finished Arsenal 1, Oestersunds 2. We may have lost the game, but we won the tie. We were absolutely superb. Bit unlucky tonight, I felt.
Go for, and maybe that's because you've had a quarter of a century with one man there.
Yeah.
Just getting word through. We've got a video ready that's been sent in to us from Mr. Oh, you've already teased a bit of it. There's a video coming up from Mr. DT, so we're going to get that on for you right now, and we'll see you all in a few moments.
So it's finished Arsenal 1, Oestersunds 2. We may have lost the game, but we won the tie. We were absolutely superb. Bit unlucky tonight, I felt. I thought we were just absolutely brilliant. So, you know, yeah. Positive signs for the future. We look really, really good. So I'm happy.
Is DT trolling us there? DT?
Is he taking the piss? All I heard was we look really, really good. I'm guessing that was a bit of sarcasm.
There has to be sarcasm from DT.
No, he's lying. No, he's having a laugh.
He has to be because
No. Arsenal were horrible in that game against. I told you against a team that were founded in 1996. You can't play like that. Because basically, if you have the performance against Atletico, because I was just watching double against Atalanta, both of those teams would tear Arsenal to shreds.
Absolutely.
So it's like
we're going to put the One Football app up on the screen now. First thing we're going to do when we look at this, you haven't gone through this app before, make sure you go and download it. The information is in the description below. Why is Mkhitaryan still top of the man of the match vote on nearly 3,000 votes?
3,000.
Ken Sema, who is the left side of the tag, scored the goal. He's second on 1,000 votes. Come on, Arsenal fans. Stop being biased.
No, you're being you're being a clown to put in Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan had a horrendous game. Yeah. Absolutely horrendous game. So that's just biased. Or you got paid. Or someone got paid, man.
Absolutely crazy to see that. Gonna look here at some of the statistics. Arsenal dominated possession, but only by 6%. They only had 6% more of the ball. Sorry, not 6% more of the ball. They had 12% more. But what are we looking at here? Goal wise, obviously we know who won on the night. But they had 11 attempts on goal, 3 of them on target, to Arsenal's 15 and 6. However, how many of Arsenal's shots on goal were like genuine gilt-edged chances?
We had 15 attempts.
Yeah.
Didn't seem like it.
Exactly.
No, it didn't seem like it. No, basically look like, what's it called? I call him Danny Welbeck. Because he's a brick. Because, I mean, Danny Welbeck, and you look at that guy, the amount of one-on-ones the guy had, horrible. And it's like, again, it's like, that is the issue with Wenger's, like, you look at the players that they bought, and you think to yourself that, what is the long-term vision for players like this? And when you think of the guys of like Henry, Beckham, Van Persie to flipping Welbeck, man, that's a downgrade, man.
No, I totally understand. So a comment here saying the voting system on the app is rubbish. Well, it's only rubbish if people vote biasly and unrealistically. It's an open voting system for anybody to go in and cast your votes. This is maybe one of the biggest issues I have with a lot of football fans is that they can't ever look at their opponents or a different team and vote honestly. Like, if any Arsenal fan votes, the only Arsenal player you could potentially vote for, if you want to be biased, is Kolasinac that came on and got a goal. That's the only one you could probably say, okay, we'll put something out there on him. Absolutely crazy he's been voted for. But when you look at that, I think we hit the nail on the head. Like, there was 15 attempts from Arsenal, but how many of them do you remember, apart from the goal? There wasn't any. Yeah. With Oestersunds, There was a number of opportunities crossed towards the end that nearly went in. They look more dangerous. They look hungrier, better organised. And Arsenal, what would you say to Arsenal? Because I know they're out there. There's going to be Arsenal fans that are going to say, well, we played in second gear and we still got through against the bigger sides. Because we said this last week from Ty, who said against the bigger sides, we won't play like that, we'll improve.
Play like what? Second gear? I reckon that Arsenal were really trying then. I feel like that was Arsenal at their best.
No.
I'm not even
that
joking.
was Arsenal at their very
I'm not
best.
even joking.
That was them on like 7th gear, man. So
That's, I mean, most cars have 6 gears, so Arsenal really pushed it.
yeah, look at my 7th and gear 7.
Yeah, I mean, what do you say to Arsenal fans like that, though, Pippa, in terms of that sort of... I get, look, yes, every now and then Arsenal have turned up against a big side in the last 4 or 5 years. They've done it in some cup finals, in some big games. But when you watch a performance like that, knowing that Sunday you're going up against a team that this season have probably been the best team in the world, how fearful are you now of being embarrassed at Wembley on Sunday?
Oh, there's no fear of being embarrassed anymore. Because this is always a constant embarrassment. There's more. No, I'm being genuine. There's more. It's more consistency in embarrassment than there is in being prideful about the team.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna go into it thinking, yeah, obviously it's Wembley. It's a cup game. We turn up to this game. There's a potential that we could possibly win it, but I'm not gonna go in it thinking that we're gonna be.
But then it would be a very Arsenal thing to do, to go out and actually beat a Man City,
Yeah,
because they're so black and white. That's the thing.
Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name, mate?
Hi, my name's Ishmael.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
Great. And you?
Great. What team do you support?
He's an Arsenal fan.
Me, I support Arsenal. Here's the problem. We've been saying Wenger in, Wenger out. It's like in and out for Brexit. It really does piss me off. But I think that if we really do get Wenger out, it's not really going to change anything. I mean, people are saying if we do, no, honestly, like nothing will change, because Arsenal has endemic and systemic problems that need fixing, and this goes beyond like one man. It's like politics, like you'll blame it on a president or you'll blame it on a prime minister, but in the end of the day, when that person fucks off, there will still be those same problems.
Do you know how much Wenger controls at Arsenal?
Rooted in the club.
Yo, Ishmael, do you know Wenger runs the transfers at Arsenal? He has much more control than any other thing. So if you take him out...
Yes, of course, but it's with the players, it's with the motivation, it's with
which comes from Wenger. He's the manager.
There is you're trying to simplify. You're trying to simplify
He's the manager.
Problem that it's not just the manager. Like Troop said, you could get Simeone and Allegri to do a tag team, and this club would still be shit.
That's a lie, man.
The problem goes with the owner. I am Wenger out, but I'm just saying that when Wenger will leave, you will be sorely disappointed. You will be sorely disappointed.
So you're saying that Simeone would do a worse job?
Wenger will leave in 2 years. Wenger will leave in 2 years because he's hitting 70. He's just waiting to make enough money so he can retire at 70. And then when the guy is going to leave, nothing's going to change. It's still going to be the same old Arsenal.
Ishmael, so you're saying that if you bring in Simeone, he will do a worse job than Wenger. That's what you're saying.
He won't do a worse job than Wenger, but he won't change anything. Like, we will never have the Invincibles. That's like old people who reminisce about the British Empire. This was in the past. You will never get the Invincibles. You will never get it back. Like we've had what more than what?
Look, Ishmael, the Invincibles was in the bloody Middle Ages, in the flipping 1800s. Okay, that's us in the past. But we're looking in the future. You saying that if Wenger leaves, nothing's going to change doesn't make any sense, because he's the manager and he controls a lot more than just coaching.
I know, but he's not a king. He's a cog in a machine.
Oh no!
By fixing one cog that you're going to change everything.
Have you?
That's not a Chelsea thing.
Can I ask you a question? Do you know that Arsene Wenger interviewed his own boss at Arsenal?
No, I did not.
That's how much control that man has. I agree. Where I do agree with you is if Arsene Wenger stays involved in the club. So this nonsense that they need to put him upstairs, that's the biggest mistake they can make, because Wenger is the emperor of this empire. And if he goes upstairs,
he's a queen in a
exactly. And if he goes upstairs,
he's Stan Kroenke's queen. But say we do get Wenger out. Let me ask you this question: how do we get Stan Kroenke out in a world run by capitalism?
I've told you how to do this. I've told Arsenal fans how to do this already. You vote with your feet and you cut the snake's head off. You could end this reign of terror from an Arsenal fan point of view in 6 weeks if you stop putting money in, stop going to games, stop watching it on TV.
But how do you get the
exactly?
collective?
But no one will do it. But nobody will do it.
Collective.
That's how you do it. The only way to, if you truly want it and you truly love the club, you turn your back on them. Tough love. That's how you would do it. The problem is no one's going to do that. They're still going to pay their money in. They're still
exactly because in the end, Troops, DT, Ty, all these people, they're screaming Wenger out, Wenger out, Wenger out. But in the end, they're the customers, and you have to look at Arsenal like a business. And you are right. If you don't like the product, then don't pay for it. But these people, you Wenger out, they're still going to the games, and they're proud of it.
You have to support the team.
Yeah. No, because you can still be Wenger out, but still be an Arsenal supporter.
Yeah.
But I think the point that Terry's making is that if he really wants to make a big statement and get the establishments who are the issue, we're not going to buy the merchandise. We're not going to come to the games. We're going to have a placard because that would now send, because these are businnesmen. And if you now put the business on the bottom line, that is how you'll affect them.
We follow them everywhere. We follow them to the Arctic Circle, for fuck's sakes. How are you going to tell me that this is something that needs to change? Arsenal can win trophies. It's there. I mean,
no, they can't win the Premier League. Bro, no,
Aubameyang.
Ishmael, wait. They can't win the Premier League, so forget that. That's a dream. That's not happening.
No, we can win the Premier League.
No, you
can't Not this year. Not next year, but we can win it.
In the next 5 years, Arsenal are not sniffing. Arsenal are not sniffing the Premier League in the next 5 years.
All right, calm down.
With City, United, and how the guys, Arsenal are not sniffing the Premier League in the next 4 or 5 years. That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm sorry.
Yes, that is a fact.
Thank you.
We can still win the Premier League. We can still be a great club. We need profound transformation.
Impossibility. No,
sorry. Buddy, we need profound transformation within the club.
I agree with you. It's more than just Wenger. Look, I really appreciate your call, my friend.
It's all right. Have a very nice night, Nat.
Yeah, you too. Take care. Look, I actually think everybody here is making lots of points that I agree with. I think there are issues, elements that I don't. I think he's right. It's more than Wenger just leaving to have a complete overhaul. Example being, you could bring in Pep Guardiola, but if they don't increase how much they spend on players and how much they pay in salaries, you're not going to attract the players needed to improve your squad. So there's a fundamental overhaul that's needed. In terms of about protesting or not going to the club, if Arsenal Football Club as a symbol, as a badge, as an entity is bigger than Wenger and the board, turning your back and stop feeding the board is actually supportive of your club. If you believe that these guys are actually holding your club back, if that could relinquish their control and get you back to where you want to be, I think that's the true support.
Yeah, but as much as you may hear online and in certain parts of the media, Wenger out, there's only believe it or not, it's only a small percentage of fans that believe that. There's still a whole load of fans out there that don't want change, but they're not so Wenger out. I hear you on that. So you're not going to get that collective of people coming together to do that. It's not going to happen anytime soon.
Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Ahmed.
Ahmed?
Yeah.
How you doing, mate?
I'm alright.
You're a gooner, right?
Yeah.
Look, how are you feeling after that game? Are you happy with the fact that you're through, or are you disappointed at another lackluster and poor performance from your club?
Disappointing.
Okay.
Wenger should have put like an experienced defender in the back. Put like at least Monreal, someone like that. Or at least put Mertesacker or something. Because like those two youngsters. I don't.
Did you say Mertesacker?
Yes.
What?
Yes, Mertesacker.
Do you know Mertesacker has not been relevant since 2006? You do realize that?
This guy.
But he's still good though.
Man, I don't know. Man.
He can stay in the back. Like he's still good though.
I mean, he was good in the FA Cup final.
Oh yeah.
But he's good once every 7 or 8 games. No, I think Arsenal's. Look, even if you put Monreal there and everyone, I just felt like the team as a whole, for some reason, mentally, they were just not up for the game. So it just permeated through the entire team, which is, again, it's unprofessional.
Yeah, really appreciate your call, young man. Thank you.
Oh, done.
Cool. We've got a Dropbox video coming out right now, but there's a tweet that's come out from @AFC Stuff. Arsenal have only lost twice at home this season, to Manchester United in the Premier League and tonight in the Europa League. So home form has been pretty good for Arsenal. But I disagree with that, the last caller, bless his heart. I think, you know, you shouldn't have to play Monreal, or whether you think Mertesacker is good or not, you shouldn't have to play all of those guys to get a result against a team of that standard at home. You should be able to beat them. But we've got a video that's been sent in to us via Dropbox. Remember, if you want to send in a video this evening, the Dropbox link is in the description below, so you can do that. Listen to what's being said, and we'll be back in a few moments with you.
Good evening to you all. Candid News. That was a poor game. Poor from Arsenal. I'm looking at Koulibaly, Costas Manolas to sort out defense, midfield Steven Zonzi, Verratti, Marquinhos, and right wing, let's reunite Lacazette with Nabil Fekir. What do you guys think? How do we fill in these positions? Who are available? The best possible fit for our team. Till next time, guys.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you could hear that. That was very quiet. If you're going to send a video through, speak with a little bit of gravitas and noise so we can hear you. So the last 16 remaining teams in the tournament, it's really hotting up now, the Europa League. I think much better array of talent in there than there was last year. So you have Arsenal, Dortmund, Lokomotiv Moscow, Atletico. By the way, it is Atletico, not Athletic. I see a lot of people call them Atletico. It's Atletico. Dynamo Kiev, Zenit St. Petersburg, smashed up Celtic today. Absolutely knocked them out and sent them back behind their rock. RB Leipzig, Lyon, is that Victoria? How do you pronounce that? Pizan. This guy knows his stuff. Lazio, Sporting, Marseille, AC Milan, Salzburg, Athletic Club, and CSK Moscow. So some really... Who do you fancy there right now, Pippa? Who there do you fancy to go on and win the Europa League?
We're not going to win the Europa League, but, I mean... Do
you fancy Arsenal to do it?
No.
You got no hope?
I want to be more positive, but no, I don't. Not after that performance. I don't know who I'd want in there, you know?
I think probably the strongest teams you're looking at are... It depends if Atletico are going to put more focus in this or in La Liga, because they're second in La Liga. But you look at Leipzig and you look at Dortmund. I think Dortmund, Leipzig...
For Arsenal to
no, it was about who to win it outright.
Okay, yeah. Now you're making more sense. I think he definitely Dortmund. I mean, obviously they just about got through.
Yeah.
But...
So who do you like in the next round then? Last 16. Which of those teams would you pick as a gooner?
I mean, any of those teams. I mean, probably Pitsen.
Why?
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, but you didn't hear of Oestersunds before.
There we go, yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can't say that.
Well, and they almost beat Arsenal.
Yeah. So you can't say that.
I love it. I do love it. I do love it. It made me feel better regarding Man United's average performance and result last night. I'm going to do some of the comments here, actually, that are coming through on the old YouTube. One thing's for sure, though. Chelsea probably won't win a trophy this year, will they? I don't know the relevance of that comment. I really, really don't. Few of the fans here saying Leipzig, RB Leipzig will win it. Oh. Do you know what? It's an interesting one for them because they're going to lose players this summer. We know Naby Keita is going to go to Liverpool. Maybe their last chance to actually go out and win something. Lazio are doing well. Did I read Lazio still in it?
I think I think
they are still in it. I forgot
because they've got the striker Immobile, who's
cool.
Really good for them.
We've got a video from Loomis now. Loomis, who obviously runs all the social media for Arsenal Fan TV. He sent us through a video, so we're going to whack that on for you right now, and we'll be back in a few moments. But remember, before we do it, you can call us on 0203 606 0315. See you in a minute.
Loomis here. Second take. I just did a whole video and it got deleted. Performance today was absolute garbage. First half was the worst first half I've seen so far this season, and I know I've said that at least 10 times this season already, but this one took the cake. It's absolutely shocking. Iwobi, I thought, was woeful. I mean, how he got a full 90 minutes, I don't know. What's Reece Nelson on the bench sitting there thinking, he can't get a game in that position, but Iwobi's playing that crap and still, And I don't like dicking out players, because especially a young player like Iwobi, but Jesus Christ, man, shocking today. As for it was Welbeck, Nketiah. Nketiah's there on the bench, watching Welbeck play a full 90 minutes like that. After the game he had as well last week, you'd think at least give Nketiah a chance. We're pretty much through. We might have harder teams in the next round. Give the youth a chance after what he did against Norwich. He still can't get on the pitch. Come on, man. To lose tonight is disgraceful. At home as well, at the Emirates Stadium, to lose to the likes of Oestersunds. It's a joke, an absolute joke. But yeah, man, hopefully we don't play like this on the weekend. I know it's going to be a different team on the weekend, but if we play like this on the weekend, we're going to get absolutely smashed by City. So better performance is needed. But yeah, I'm out, man. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all of that. Loomis7, done all.
Much Loomis for your video. Everyone that calls up now, we're going to change the subject. We're going to stay on Arsenal, of course. We're going to move it on to talk a little bit about the game that's coming up Sunday, your thoughts and feelings about moving towards that. But also an interesting tweet, again, by ASC Stuff. And they say Arsenal have lost all of their home European knockout games since their 2-1 win over Barcelona in the 2010-2011 season. I didn't know that until now. That's shocking, right?
At this point, nothing's shocking.
But then look at the kind of teams that they faced, like in the knockouts.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Sinead.
Sorry, what's your name?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, what's your name?
Jerry.
Jerry, how you doing, mate?
Hold on, man.
Right.
So then, what happened today, man?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We were just reading out a stat there that speaks about the fact that Arsenal haven't won a European knockout game at home since 2011. That's, what, 7 years since you've won a knockout European game at home. How does that make you feel as an Arsenal fan?
Okay, no. Them man is not playing.
But why are they not playing?
No, you know what I mean? Not playing properly and that. They're just fucking everything up.
Yeah.
It's insightful.
Cheers for your call, mate. Thank you.
Man. Thanks, bro.
God, man's been drinking,
Yeah, no,
smoking. I don't know what he's been doing. I told him that
worried,
stat.
yeah.
He literally went, "Fuck you, no." I never thought I'd get that response.
Doing to fans these days, boy.
I get what you said before that call, though, that a lot of those have been against top sides.
Barcelona,
Yeah.
Bayern Munich.
But AC Milan as well within that. There's lots. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name, mate?
Hi there, Kip.
Hello, Kip. How you doing, mate?
Not great after today's result, is it?
No, we've heard from Loomis, Pippa. We've all been speaking about it. Disappointing. Not won a home game in European knockout football for 7 years.
It's Barcelona.
I mean, were you aware of that before we said it?
No, not at all. And it's quite an astounding fact, isn't it? It's quite the reflection of what the club has come to.
I mean, I'm actually shocked by it in many ways. And I know what we're saying. Yes, some of them have been against some very good sides. Then you would expect to beat, with all intents and purposes, a club that was invented and created in 1996. Have no history. I mean, are you feeling embarrassed now? Is it frustration? Or, as Pippa has said, are you just beyond that sensation and feeling now because it's become such a regular occurrence?
I think it's such a frequent feeling. And I think it's important not to take away from FK and what they come tonight, because this is their game, for their biggest game for the next 5 years, playing such a big club away from home, etc. And they came and they played us off the park for most of that first half. And it's disappointing as an Arsenal fan, because we're supposed to be competing in the top 4 leagues, and we're going to be a top 4 club in one of the biggest clubs in the nation and in the world, and we can't even compete with a team that, well, we should be blowing out the water.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think, of course, Oestersunds deserve credit. Of course they do. Fantastic. I think their manager might have a few of the British clubs sniffing around them after what he's done in that competition this year, of course.
I mean, but like, just for all of you guys, can Arsenal still be considered a big club?
Do you know what? I think you got to phrase it right. They're a big club because of what they've achieved. Are they still a big team right now? Are they still a team that scares you or you're worried about? I personally would say no.
Yeah.
I think before we can consider ourselves a big club again, like we were, or we talked about history, invincibles, blah, 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 we need to face our fans' harsh realities. We need to understand that the board, Kroenke, above Arsene Wenger, including Arsene Wenger, he wants to please Kroenke and the board above him. And he wants to, because their primary focus is to make money out of the club. They don't care what the fans think. We're secondary to him. And so Arsene Wenger's on a multi-million-pound contract. He's not going to want to upset the board. Yes? And so, until we realise that if we keep going to the most expensive tickets in Europe, keep going to our games, and I understand that going on strike, etc., is a huge thing. It's really hard to achieve, etc. But until we realise that, until as fans we make sacrifices, our club's not going to make sacrifices for us.
Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more. Do you know, someone who's a very proud Englishman like myself. There's been a lot achieved in this country through protest and striking. There's a lot. Outside of sport, there has been a hell of a lot achieved through doing it. No, I'm not talking about looting and smashing things up and getting violent. I'm talking about genuine protesting, doing it for the right reasons, doing it for reform, doing it for change. And it's because people care about their country. It's not because they hate their country. It's because they genuinely... And that's what I think about Arsenal fans. And I have said this to the likes of DT, and I'll say it out loud all the time. If you really care, create a movement where people cut the snake's head off, because what would upset the board more than anything is a loss of money, which is the biggest thing to them. If Arsenal fans believe all the owners care about is making money, stop them making money.
Exactly, and I think as a club, if we look at our club right now, we see our team, except maybe let's say a defensive mid, a centre back, a goalkeeper. Every single position we compete with the best players in the Premier League. But what we lack is the drive from the manager, and he's got that. Okay, Arsene Wenger loves his club, that's undisputed. But his time has passed, and I think we all know that. And I think he's only here now for the money, isn't he, to be honest?
You know, for me now, I think, like, you look at Real Madrid, who gets criticized by how they go about their business, but you know that they take a loss. Because they take a loss in the short term to make a profit in the long term. Because, like, you know what? We're going to take a loss because we're going to get Bale, we're going to get Cristiano, we're going to get the best players, because we know that we're going to take a loss, we're going to be in the red in the short term, but in the long term, through merchandising, shirt sales, Champions League wins, and raising our profile, we're going to get the money back. But for these Arsenal business guys, just thinking about, no, we want to make money in the short term now. Because we've built the stadium, we want to make money in the short term now. But if you really care about the club, but you also want to make money, you've got to take a loss to make a profit down the line. So literally, you've got to take a loss and say, no, the reality now is you've got to pay the top players big money. Well, Wenger refused to do that. He said, no, sorry, that's not my policy. But no, that is the reality is you've got to do that. So
well, let me tell you one thing will happen if we go on strike, for example. I guarantee you this will happen. All that will happen is they'll open the ticket sales to the public rather than red members, pearl members, etc., etc. They'll drop the tickets by 30%. Tourists and the lot will all just go and buy tickets. I promise that will happen. Do you know how ridiculously hard it is to get a ticket to get in the Emirates nowadays without a 1.5 grand season ticket pass?
No, I understand that.
To get in that stadium.
No, mate, really do. Look, we've got a few more calls we want to get through. I really do appreciate you phoning up, though, mate. Some wonderful points.
Absolutely.
Cheers, thank you. I want to ask you this as an Arsenal fan, Pippa. Like, a couple of things I want to ask you, actually. What would your reaction be to fans boycotting anything Arsenal-based to try and force change? To them as individuals, what would your reaction to them be?
I'm all here for it, but I just don't see it happening. I can only see literally about 5% of the whole Arsenal base doing that.
Why? Why do you think they wouldn't? Why do you think they would? What would be their reasoning for not doing that in your eyes? Not
just like the last caller said. There's so many other fans that don't go to the games. The fans that you don't see. The fans that may be online or maybe from out of London.
Tourists.
Tourists. They will still buy. They will still come and support. They will still fill those seats.
No, because like basically like when I went to like the Emirates to watch like a pre-season game like years ago. And literally, there was like a family sitting in front of me, and these guys were not watching the game at all. They were like looking at each other, talking to themselves, eating their food, and it was literally like they were having a picnic while a football match was going on. And the fact of the matter is that Highbury was a whole different breed to what the Emirates is now. Because in Highbury was like, no, smaller stadium, more intimate, everybody was real. Emirates, the prices are high, season tickets is the highest in Europe. And the bulk of the guys that go there are guys who are very rich, are tourists, and really the real fans are a lot smaller than they were back at Highbury.
I get that.
So again, to strike, as people were saying, it's not realistic because those tourists are not going to strike.
Yeah, it won't make a big impact. It won't.
No, and I appreciate your view putting that as well. We spoke about Wenger a bit tonight. Do you think, Pippa, do you think he's damaging his or already has damaged his long-term legacy at the club?
Yeah.
With a huge percentage of the fan base.
Yeah, I've been saying that for the last 2-3 seasons now, if not more. Because obviously, I know we like to throw around the word legend and legacy, but obviously he did create a legacy at one point for the club, and it's just gone completely downhill now. And
yeah, no.
But the things are like, what is what I say to people, man? Invincibles. As much as he has done, that's an achievement that no matter how bad he does, that achievement can never go away because nobody has ever done it. And nobody may never do it again.
Before we put the call through, what I would say about that, and again, I'll speak to you as a gooner about this. You know, you got maybe some, you know, children, nieces, nephews that are younger. When we speak to some of our younger callers,
yeah,
they're like, and this makes sense to me. They're like, as much as I understand we achieved the Invincibles,
they don't know about
they
that.
don't remember it. They weren't born, or they were too young, and it becomes a distant memory. Like Man United, my club, have won the Champions League 3 times.
Yeah,
but 99 and 2008 mean more to me than 1968 because I wasn't born. I didn't experience it firsthand. I've watched DVDs. I've watched the game 3 or 4 times, but it doesn't resonate in the same way. And I think that that's where Arsene Wenger's struggling, is the new breed of Arsenal fans coming through. If you're 12 years old, 15, all you know of Wenger as is a bit of a joke.
Yeah.
You know him as the has-been, and I think that's the big, that would be the, would you...
That's what I mean by he's destroying his legacy, because unless you go and do research and watch all these old YouTube videos and look back, as a young Arsenal fan, you're just going to see trash.
Yeah, there's a different perception.
Yeah.
We've got a call coming through here from an Arsenal fan. Yes, a Gooner coming through. Want to say hello to them. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Saeed.
Hello, Saeed. How are you?
I'm alright, man. How you doing?
I'm good, mate. What would you like to say to us tonight?
Alright, my finger's lagging real quick. Like, all I need to say right now is, like, listen, we don't need anarchy at our club, yeah? We don't need to do no boycotts and that. You don't agree? We need anarchy. Because how can we attract big players and that?
Peter, go on, you want to answer that? Go on.
What?
Yeah, give it a go. You're a Gooner, and I will come in after.
What, you say you don't want anarchy?
Yeah, it doesn't. The boycotts, yeah, nothing.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with. I said I will support people who do it, but I'm saying it won't happen anyway, and I don't think that will deter big players from coming to the club. There's many other reasons why they won't come. There's lack of ambition, first of all. They're not going to look and think, oh, the fan base or boycotts, I'm not going to go there.
No, but all I'm saying to you lot is, yeah, if you think about this, yeah, we need stability, and Arsene Wenger stability, yeah. What happened to Man United, like, what, a couple of years ago when Ferguson left and that? You see what I'm saying to you?
No, of course.
So does this guy just compare Wenger to Ferguson?
Yeah.
Wait,
no, I didn't compare it, like...
No, you just said stability. Yeah? I just said that, look at what happened when Ferguson left, and you don't want the same thing to happen. But
you want Moyesian, yeah?
But it's already happened to Arsenal. You've now dropped to where Moyes and LVG took Man United. You've done that with Wenger already. What I would say to you is, I understand your point. That there could be a period, say this anarchy happened. Let's just say it happened and there was no one at the stadium. Let's just paint a very hypothetical picture. But it might stop a few big players coming. However, Arsenal have a worse problem than that's been going on for the last 13 years. You get good players and they all leave because of Wenger and because of your club. And
all right. Let me say this to you. Obviously, we're going through a transition, yeah, where we have to pay for the stadium and that. And then obviously, when you pay for the stadium, you can't straight away buy big players.
Why?
You stabilize the club, make the bankroll nice and that, make a bit more profit.
But you've done that.
No, we didn't do that until like 2014, 15 and that, yeah?
That's
now
okay, go on, sorry.
3 years on, we're trying to do some Galactical stuff, yeah? That's what I want, some Galactical to happen, yeah? But wait. If the fans boycott and we've got anarchy, yeah, and the stadium's half filled like today, yeah, then what's going to happen?
Okay, so what if they...
we're going to be like...
Okay, so what happens if they don't... Right now, there's hundreds of millions of pounds in their cash reserves. In another couple of years when the debt's paid off and there's even more money, if they're not increasing the wages to keep your best players, if they're not buying the Galacticos that you want, if even whether they've got Wenger or not, they're still finishing 6th, they're not winning Premier Leagues, they're not challenging for the Champions Leagues, then what?
Okay.
Then would you want anarchy, or then would you accept mediocrity?
No, of course. Listen. No one in this world wants anarchy, yeah, because this is not the purge, yeah? No
one's asking for violence. People are just asking for to stop money going in.
Listen. I'm just saying, like, pickets and that, people saying, like, Margaret Thatcher. We don't need none of that, yeah? All I'm saying, this is, Arsene Wenger ain't no Margaret Thatcher, yeah? That's what I'm telling you, yeah? Let me tell you this. Money needs to be built, because Tottenham are going places, yeah? And Arsenal fans need to keep faith, yeah? Faith. We're going to be lucky. We're going to be lucky.
Do you want to know the difference between Arsenal and Spurs? As a neutral looking at it, Spurs are very economical with their money right now. They're going to build their stadium. I believe, though, when Spurs start to earn more money from obviously having extra seats and new people in, I think they will start to increase what they spend on salaries and on players. I think they have the ambition to become a super club, from being a big club to being a super-sized club.
Those guys are not going to stay, man. Harry Kane, they're going to leave before that.
Listen.
Maybe.
They're going to sell all their players. Listen, Tottenham want to sell all their best players like Dele Alli, Harry Kane, Eriksen, like Lloris and that. Them lot are going to get onto the black market and that, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be on the bit market and that, yeah? They're going to get sold and that, you know what I'm saying? Real quick.
Maybe. Well, thank you very much for your call, my friend. Thank you. Man brought up Margaret Thatcher, Anarchy, The Purge.
Bro, I thought I was an history lesson.
No, the guy went.
Look, I understand what he was talking about, and I understand you. But your point made sense. Will there be enough Arsenal fans that do it? Me as an outsider is, you either don't truly believe in what you say in terms of the whole Wenger out thing. It's just words in front of a camera or words on Twitter. If you do and you really love the club, it's the way to go, you know. And I had the same thoughts when Man United fans wanted the Glazers out. I was there in the stadium with my season ticket, wearing green and gold, swinging my scarf around, and my dad rings me up and he's like, "Son, you're an idiot." I was like, "Why?" He goes, "I get you love your club." He says, "You want them out, right?" I went, "Yeah." He goes, "But you're giving them your money every week when you go up there." And I was like, in my head I just went, duh, duh, duh. And I stopped, as much as I didn't want the Glazers there, I stopped the protest. I was like, because I'm just feeding the habit.
Yeah.
It's a nonsense. It's very hypocritical, and it isn't real support. And I know everyone attacks Ty for this. He thinks that supporting the manager means never criticising him. That's not support. That's deludedness. Yeah. And it's the same as, oh, I want the Wenger out, I want change, but I'm going to continue to do the same things I've always done and expect it to change. Is that not a sign of insanity? I don't know. But then that's where football clubs get you. Is they know you love the club so much that you won't walk away. It isn't like a bank or a coffee shop or a hairdresser's that's you're not emotionally attached to. So they have got you involved in one of the hardest business models for you to move away from, and it's very clever. But they are stealing your money at some of these football clubs.
Damn right.
There we go. What's this thing? Someone moved the microphone in front of me. I can't see it. Question. This is a great question, right? Is that true? Wow. It must be true. This is the question that's on the odds.
Career goals.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
This is on the odds Bible. And we want to put this out there to you. It says, the question is, how crap is Danny Welbeck? The answer is, Sergio Ramos has scored more career goals.
You know what, yeah?
That's deep, man.
I'm completely embarrassed because I did a video on Arsenal Fan TV the other day and I was defending Danny Welbeck only because I'm trying to...
You were defending Welbeck?
No, only because I'm trying to do this whole new thing of, let me support the players, let me stop, because I'm always criticising them, and I feel like, let me just change my mindset for a bit, because I know that they see these things, let me just be supportive.
Yeah, Bellerin confirmed they watch it.
Yeah, let me just be
by saying he didn't watch it.
Because I feel like sometimes, obviously, when you're... Because I feel like their mindset, I feel like every time you're criticising them, they take it so personally that they just underperform even more.
Yeah.
So I thought, let me just try... No, I'm not supporting him no more. I'm sorry, I tried. Because even when I was saying it, I didn't believe it myself. But, like, come on, bro. You can't even finish
trying to that butterfly effect. Put the positivity out there. And it was going to make... It's going to make Welbeck score.
He can't finish shit. Like, I can't. I'm embarrassed I even defended him.
I heard a rumour once that his mum told everyone that he doesn't even finish his dinner.
Yeah, he probably does.
It's that bad. Yeah, look, I like Danny Welbeck. He's a good, hard-working man, but...
There we go.
Can't finish. We've got another call. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Abdullah, and I'm an Arsenal fan.
How you doing, mate?
Hi, I'm not doing very well. I mean, first off, I would like to say that I'm extremely gutted from the result, and I know that we lost. But and I am angry at literally every single one of them. I am still surprised at how Danny Welbeck is a professional footballer.
Cool.
And he's only good against Manchester United. So probably when the next time Arsenal gave him a contract, it's just say only against Manchester United. Secondly, there's one more thing I would like to add is just I think right now we have a lot of negativity, I think I would just like a little reminder to all the other fans in the world who are logging on to Arsenal Fan TV and all that. We are out of the Europa League? We are still in the Europa League. We have progressed. We have progressed absolutely shit. That's absolutely the most typical Arsenal way possible. But we have actually progressed. So please calm yourselves.
Oestersunds.
We've been told, mate. Thank you.
I'm so literally depressed right now, but I cannot take more negativity.
Listen, listen, thank you for your call. Don't be depressed. Football, we love it, but it's not worth being depressed over. You know, there must be something out there. Go watch Netflix, go have a cuddle, have an ice cream, go for a run, go to the gym, do something productive. Don't be depressed over football. There's a lot more. There's loads more things that happen in life that are worth being depressed over. Football isn't one worth being depressed over. We're ready to take some more calls, quick fire calls. We're going to give you a minute to impress us. If you haven't, you're coming off. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name and what would you like to say?
My name's Yash, and I'd just like to talk about Arsenal's problems right now.
Yeah, go for it. What's the problem? What do you see their biggest problem as?
I think the entire structure is just ruined right now. I think tonight we saw a brilliant reflection of what the real Oestersunds is like and what the real Arsenal is like. Arsenal's future isn't bright. That's the team that we played in the Europa League. This is a competition where we shouldn't be in. We should be a Champions League team. And we're going and we're losing to Oestersunds tonight. No player on that pitch today played and deserved to wear that badge. You know, you just need to nail it down to, you look at those players and you think, how many of those players could get into that Oestersunds team? And I'd say about 8 or 9 of them could easily fit into that Oestersunds team.
No, mate, totally agree with you on that one. Thank you very, very much for your call. I think you made some... Look, I get where he's coming from, disappointment. Tweet here says the difference between Wenger and a snake is a snake takes 5 minutes to kill you. Wenger, on the other hand, does it over 20 years.
Hello.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm not bad. How you doing, Terry?
I'm very well. What's your name?
My name's Kieran. How you
Hello,
doing?
Kieran. I thought I recognised the voice. Yeah, I'm very well, mate.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that performance from your boys tonight?
I'm speechless how bad it was.
Well, that's no good being speechless when you come on the radio. Not on the radio, on the internet, but yeah. Go on, Pip. You talk to one of your you talk to your guy there. Arsenal Gooners in mourning.
Can we win the Europa League?
No.
Okay.
Good chat.
Unless he puts in the effort, and he actually tries to win it, we've got no chance of winning it this year because he's playing little sides. He's not putting that many good players on the bench, so we haven't got any backups. And unless he actually puts in the effort into this tournament, we're not going to win it.
I mean, you put a little bit of effort in with that team that you put out today, but you're right, there was hardly no options on the bench. But Eddie should have come on, and Welbeck should not have played 90 minutes.
No, he shouldn't. And we didn't have any cover. Ozil, was Ozil injured or anything? I don't know.
No, he's sick again. I don't know what's wrong with him. He keeps getting the flu or something.
Is he like sort of sick that he signed a new deal, do you reckon?
Probably. I mean, he was just in. He was on holiday the other day.
For all that cash, man, I don't think I'd be that sick if I was earning that much cash a week.
He was in Istanbul the other day. He was over Instagram with his missus. So I don't know what's going on there.
Maybe he ate like a dodgy kebab or something. I'm not sure. Mate, Kieran, thanks for your call, mate.
Just one more thing.
Go on.
I was watching that game and I was kind of hoping Oestersunds would have managed to come back and win that.
You wanted
see what the board would have done with Wenger. Because I don't know what us Arsenal fans have to do anymore to show the board that we don't want Wenger at the club.
You have to boycott.
A majority of Arsenal fans that want him out, and no matter what we do, the board just don't seem to recognise that.
Look, we know that, mate, and that's why I think the moaning about it has to end, and actual affirmative action needs to come in. But I think, as Pippa's pointed out, there's not enough people with the
cojones.
I had that same word in my head. Yeah, they haven't got the old ball bags to do it. You know what I mean? Kieran, mate, look, you enjoy the rest of your evening, mate. All right.
And you.
Take care, brother. If you haven't done so already, the Ultimate Football Fan, which puts all of this together, we know there's thousands of you watch us every single week. Go check out our Instagram account. It's there on the screen in front of us. You can see it all there. See Robbie's face on there, a bit of us. And obviously you get to see classic stuff. We put all these things up every single day, little snippets. If you are listening to this right now, you see a little bit of Ty arguing with a 12-year-old. I can't believe how viral this has gone. Like, I had my boss's boss walk up to me the other day and was like, you came up on my timeline on Facebook. And I said, really? He goes, yes, you were that Ty guy. And this is like a 70-year-old banker who wears old-fashioned pinstripe suits knew who this guy was. But what we want you guys to do for us is make sure you go and smash that. We're nearly on 3,000. Nearly on 3,000 followers. Would love to get that over that 3,000 mark during this show this evening. So go please check that out and give that a little bit of a like and a bit of a follow. That's what you do on Instagram, is you give it a follow and smash it from there. On top of that, you've also got another thing. Discord. So this is chat rooms that have been created for you guys. Oh, look at that. I'm in the United General chat. I asked a question earlier, would you like to see Jose sacked? And Arsenal fans got in there and said yes. There we go. But there's loads of different rooms in here. You see the Arsenal fan page here. If you go to General, you go to Match Day, for instance. Lots of comments going on here right now. There's a really good chat room, free of charge to have. The likes of myself and Robbie, DT, all these guys here with me. All of us. We're going to be in there. We're going to set up the accounts so we can have chit-chats with you in there as well. So it's a good place away from just the videos or Twitter. And it's a little bit more exclusive to just us. If that makes sense. There we go. All right, so make sure you go and download both of those little things. Give them a little bit of a check out as well. Oh, yeah, always the links are in the description. I don't always say these things. I have got somebody in my ear that instructs me on what to say some of the time. But, yes, the link is in the description below. Let's do a few you of the Tube comments. Don't go through the Discord comments. We'll do YouTube, and then we'll do that. Even Kolasinac form has... mad dropped. What does a club? What does this club do to players? It's like Hostel. Are they talking about the film Hostel? That was a bad film. That was scary. Have you noticed that? Like, everybody's on a downer at the moment at Arsenal.
I said that when they were lining up at the lineup at the beginning of the game. I said everyone looks sad. Like all the players look like they don't want to be there. I don't know what's going on in the club. I don't know what the mentality is.
I think just the mentality and everything. They're just something that. They don't look like if they're interested in playing, which is bad because you earn too much money to not...
That's what I said. I said to him, how can they look so sad and they've got a job like this?
There
must be something really deeper going on at the club because, I mean, it's one of the best jobs in the world.
I understand. We've got some Discord comments as well here. Andre, who's an Arsenal fan, says, we're turning left-backs into strikers with like a laughing emoji.
Did I say that?
He said the same thing. And then someone says here, like, another comment says, Monreal and the tank, Kolasinac, equal the same amount of goals as our top scorer, I think. And so your two left back combined are your top goal scorer. Like,
I said to you, when was the last time a striker scored for us? And you was like, Aubameyang on his debut.
Yeah.
And that's nearly a month ago.
Yeah.
And the goal was actually offside.
Yeah.
yeah. And if the Lino did his job properly, it wouldn't have even happened. Yeah, it's not great right now. Kenny says he was this 3,000th follower. Terry, big up yourself. Thank you, Kenny. Kenny also earlier says Pippa. He said Pippa Wagwan is what he said.
Wagwan, Kenny.
That's what he said. I was like, okay, well, I will read that out. I think she's taken, mate. So, you know, it's one of them things. Gooner's only hope is that Spurs sell their players. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Do you feel a bit like that? Like, do you look at Spurs now and think they're a better team than you right now, in your eyes? Does that pain you to say it?
I don't even want to answer the question, to be honest.
No, that's what Ty does. You can't be... never go full-time Ty. Come on. Are they a better team than you right now?
Bro, who isn't a better team than us right now? Watford, I'm joking.
That's damning. Like,
I mean, remember the thing that which is what like Arsenal fans always remind me is that Tottenham may be better than Arsenal now. They still haven't won anything.
Yeah, it's temporary. I mean, they're in the right direction to do good things for their club.
But they haven't won any trophies. Well, unless you win trophies, then you know you can't talk, man.
Cool. I wonder if anyone's watching has noticed that little sign behind us. It's there. I wonder if anyone's noticed that little thing we did. We've got one last call before we end the show today. Oh, some of these comments do make me laugh. I love it when you guys argue with each other. I'm not going to read it out. It's funny. We can see. You can all see as well if you're watching.
Wow.
Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Adam.
How you going, mate? How are you?
I'm alright, my brother.
Cool. What would you like to say?
And I have to say this is basically tonight. Danny Welbeck and Iwobi. We need to just. I don't know Iwobi. You can't pass the ball properly, can you?
Easy. He's Nigerian. Don't insult my Nigerian brother. Just very easy with what you said about Iwobi, please.
But he is poor.
Look, he's Nigerian. Well, we're saving him for the World Cup, so relax.
He's worse than Welbeck, you know.
No! Whoa! No.
Now we're getting into a war because this is like Nigeria, Ghana.
I'm not gonna have that. I'm not gonna have that. No. Let me speak. No. It's my time now. No, sorry. Welbeck is one of the worst players I've ever seen. Don't you dare put Iwobi in the same brick category as Welbeck, who is shocking. He can't control, he can't pass, he can't finish. How many goals has Welbeck scored? So sorry, this whole Iwobi thing, yeah, he may not have played well, but to compare Iwobi to Welbeck, nah, sorry, no. Marvin.
Hey, listen, see the younger players, yeah? See the younger players. You need to play them. Iwobi, dead.
Iwobi's a young player.
Dead. They're all dead. Like, the younger players need the opportunity. You know what I'm saying to you?
Bro, they're like the same age.
Yeah, look, Iwobi's young and up and coming, so he will make mistakes. Look,
he ain't up and coming. His left foot is fucking left. Like, he left him. It's left him.
Look,
left him.
Look, relax.
He left him like the match day. Like, come on, man. I don't know why Wenger's playing him, man.
Who else is there to play?
There's no one else, man. I mean, how deep is the squad?
Reece Nelson, I guess.
I think Nelson, man. Give him a chance. He's skillful. He don't lose the ball. He passes the ball straight. You don't pass it backwards.
Is he better than Iwobi?
Listen, if there was a statistician, yeah, that counted how many times he's lost the ball in the past 4 or 5 matches, yeah, he'd be the worst player in the Premier.
Have you counted those stats?
But I've seen every time I see him, he's getting interception.
So does Jack Wilshere. What do you have to say about him?
Jack Wilshere was worse than Iwobi today.
Sanchez as well is known for losing the ball a lot of times.
He's got character. Wilshere's got character. He's got ambition. He's got blood. He's got determination. He's got fire. He's got fire.
Who cares about fire and ambition? It's about playing well.
He's doing the same thing as Iwobi. You're still losing the ball.
So you'd rather have fire and ambition and lose? But as long as you have fire and ambition but you lose, you're still happy about that?
Alright, listen. You got fire and ambition of putting our team down here, but listen, let me say something to you. One thing I realised, see, what's his name? Mkhitaryan, yeah? Why has he got 7-7 now? Because he thought, listen, I'm 2 times better than Sanchez.
No. Because Sanchez...
Europa League rules, bro.
Sanchez had the numbers.
Can't wear 7.
No, because it was registered to Sanchez earlier on in the season, so it's not because he thought he was twice as good. If he was, if he thought he was twice as good, if he thought it was twice as good, it'd be 14, mate. By the way, 7 times 7 is 14. No, sorry, 7 plus 7 is 14. Sorry.
I'm not plussing it. I'm just saying 2 7s just to make I'm 2 times better, 2 times luckier.
Well, he wasn't lucky today, was he?
No.
Arsenal weren't lucky today.
No. And you've been insulting Iwobi. How crap was Mkhitaryan today? Mkhitaryan was probably one of the worst players on the pitch.
Not worse than Iwobi.
Yes, he was. Mkhitaryan was worse. You know it and I know it. You know it and I know it.
What about Bricky? What about Bricky though?
Bricky?
Who's Bricky?
Yeah. What's his name, bro? Didn't he call him Bricky?
Welbeck.
And that.
Oh.
Yeah. Danny Welbeck. No. Danny Welbeck is one of the worst players of all time. We already know that. He's in the brick stardom, so we know he's separate. But I'm saying Mkhitaryan was worse than Iwobi. Iwobi has been bad, but to say he's the same as Welbeck? Are you crazy?
That no goals. Was that no goals? No goals to no goal. Saying like him.
What's he got to do with anything?
Yeah, what kind of names are you? Look, man. You're a hater.
I think he's a Tottenham fan.
No. You're a hater. Lens to love, man. You're a hater, man. You're a hater.
You sound like a Tottenham fan. You sound like a Tottenham fan.
No, I don't. You're a Man U fan. Come on.
I know what I am, but you sound like a Tottenham fan.
Boring, man. You know, no glory no more. You're boring.
No glory. Only won 2 trophies last year and slapped you up 3-1 at the Emirates.
Listen, you're on an Arsenal show and you talk about Man United. Hey, listen, easy.
You brought Man United up. I didn't. Who brought up Man United?
This is a biased Man U show.
Who brought up Man United? You or me?
No.
Who brought Man United up? You or me?
Boring. It was boring though. Boring.
But who brought Man United up?
All right, kids.
Then don't talk to me. It's only a Man United show. You spoke about them.
I'm joking.
I know you are. We're just having a banter, mate.
No, but don't be a hater, man. Be a lover. Don't be a hater. You're being a hater, man.
No, listen, I'm not being a hater. I'm just being a realist, yeah? I know. I'm just being a realist.
Cool. Mate, look, really appreciate your call as ever. Thank you very much for giving us your time.
You know who this is? It's Saeed again, though.
I knew it. I was going to say that.
Who is it?
I knew it was Saeed.
Anarchy. It's anarchy.
From the moment he came on through, I knew it.
No, anarchy, man. No,
I said it was a troll. Like, that's why I said it was a Spurs fan.
Make peace, not war.
I'm a good guy. Listen, I'm an Arsenal fan.
Nah, you're an anarchist, man. You're an anarchist.
He's not against anarchists, and now he's...
No, you're an anarchist, man. You're trying to promote war, man. Relax, peace.
You're calling our players Bricky and that, man. Come on.
Welbeck, he's called them. That's his legal name. He changed his name to Welbeck. The name on his birth certificate is Danny Welbeck.
No, it's Danny Welbeck. I like that.
Mate, thank you very much for your call. Listen, everybody, thank you very, very much for tuning in this evening. As ever, it means the world to us. Make sure you have downloaded that OneFootball app. That's really important. Make sure that like button has been smashed. When these videos re-upload in the next hour or so, please come back and leave your comments on them again. Whoever channel you're watching. Well, what we'll do first of all, for yourself, mate, let everyone know where they can find you on YouTube.
Well, it's your boy Half Hope. You can see me on YouTube, Half Hope Football Hot. Just type in Half Hope Football Hot in Google. I've got my YouTube channel, my website, Half Hope Hot on Twitter.
And yourself?
Oh, yes, I'm Pippa. So you can find me on YouTube, PippaTube, and all my social media is AFC Pippa.
Don't do what I did earlier and write Pepper, because when he says Pepper on YouTube... Rude. No, I know, because like predictive text, because my son always puts Pepper into my phone, and I was like, this can't be who's on the show tonight. So Pippa.
Saying Peppa Pig, you trolls out there. It's Pippa. So funny.
Pippa with an I, not an E.
Pippa.
Check it out. Great content on both of these channels. If you haven't subscribed to them already, go and do that now. Help them out. Support the UFF family. But listen, everybody, take care. Have a wonderful, safe, brilliant rest of the evening or daytime, wherever you are in the world. God bless, and we'll see you all again very, very soon.
No anarchy, man.